Good morning, students. In today's class, we will discuss about process workflows. Right? What do you mean by process workflow? Process workflow, the definition is before going into the software process workflow in software project management, let's first clear these two terms. What is workflow and what is software process workflow? Right? We have to differentiate the terms what is workflow and what is software process workflow. These are the two terms. We have to differentiate these two terms. Workflow, in general, workflow refers to the series of sequential tasks that are performed to achieve a goal. Workflow, flow means continuous moving, right? In general case, the workflow means it refers to the series of sequential tasks that are performed to achieve a goal, to accomplish a particular task. That is called workflow. Each workflow, the step is defined by three parameters, right? In every workflow, each step is defined by three parameters. One is input, transformation, and output. That means we can give some input and make some making some operations on the input, and it will give the output, right? In workflow process, a series of actions are performed, right, to achieve the outcome. This is called workflow. It is simply we can say that the workflow is nothing but the series of sequential actions that are to be performed to perform a particular task to achieve a particular goal. That is called as workflow. Next, we discussed about software process workflow. Software process is the set of related activities. Software process means it is the set of the related activities. That means the activities who are related with each other, they are combined in the form of set, the grouping together. Related activities, those are performed to get a software product. Right? What do we discuss about workflow? The workflow is a set of sequential activities that are performed to achieve particular goal. Here, sequence of actions there. Here, the set of related activities that are performed to get a software product as outcome. And these software process workflow leads to software developments in a linear way by performing series of sequential tasks. That is what the difference between the workflow and software process workflow, right? Yes, this diagram shows the workflow, allocated user scenarios, and the result from the previous iterations, right? You can go through the all these phases: management, requirements, design, implementation, assessment, and deployment. After that, the results for the next iteration, and this process continues like iterations. There are 7 software process workflows in software project management. There are 7 flows, that are 7 related activities that are involved in software process workflow. First one is management workflow. Some of the essential steps of controlling process are carried out in management workflow. Here in the management workflow, the main essential steps of controlling process are carried out in this management workflow. The artifacts include software development plan, business case and vision, etc. All these controlling processes are carried out along with the management workflow, and the artifacts, that is nothing but the combined information. The artifacts includes what these artifacts includes. It includes about the software development plan, the business case and the vision, etc. All these are included in the artifacts of management workflow. Ensuring win-win condition for stakeholders in terms of developing, executing, and implementing software projects. We have to ensure that for the stakeholder, that is nothing but the customer, we have to ensure the customer in terms of developing the project, executing the project, and implementing the project. That is about the management workflow. Next one is environment workflow. Automating the process to coordinate and integrate tools and people with process through workflow, which in terms reduces human errors and enables faster development with the faster resource allocation and response to the issues. Here the environment workflow. Environment means already we discussed. The environment is nothing but the surroundings, right? The workspace where the project is going to be worked, right? In environmental workflow, automating the process. That means the process has to be automated, right? To coordinate and integrate the tools and the people. We can automate the process because it can coordinate both the integrated tools and the people with the process through the workflow in terms of it tries to reduces the human resources. Automation means by using some tools we can do the process automatically just like a machine, right? Manually means by using some human resources we can performing the process. Here in the environment workflow, we are trying to automating the process, trying to machinize the process in order to coordinate the integrated tools and the people, right? So that through this workflow, it reduces the human errors. The human may do some mistakes so that the errors may arise. So in order to automate the process and coordinate the tools and the people, automatically it will reduces the human errors and enables faster development with the faster resources. That means this automating process will develop the software in the faster, develop the software fastly along with the fast resources, right? And response to these issues. That is about the environment workflow. Next one, requirements workflow. Analyzing the requirements, analyzing the problem space for identifying, understanding the problems and finding a solution. Requirements workflow. Here in this workflow, this activity, we discussed about the requirements. We have to analyze the requirements, identifying the requirements of the customer and understanding what are the problems of the customer and finding out a solution for the given problem, right? And evolving the requirements artifacts. For example, you have to evolve, that means you have to generate the requirement artifact, that is requirements information. For example, use case requirements and design documents, which helps to describe the function, architecture and design of software. Here the requirement information, we are evolving the requirements information, that are nothing but artifacts. What do you mean by these requirements artifacts? What it have? For example, the requirement artifacts example is contains use case requirements, design documents. These use case requirements and the design documents are really helps to describe the functionality of the project, and it describes the architecture of the project, and it also describes the design of the software, right? It is called requirements workflow. Next one is design workflow. Modeling the software is done to express the software design, where software modeling will address the entire software design, which evolving the architecture and design artifacts. Where modeling the software is done And to express the software design, right? The modeling the software is meant, which is used for expressing the software design. Uh, it will address the entire software design, which evolving the architecture and design artifacts. Next, implementation workflow. In this workflow, the implementation of the designs and the architectures are done by programming the components. Here in this implementation workflow, it can implement the designs and architectures. It can be done by the programming and the components. Along with this, implementation and deployment artifacts are evolved. In this implementation workflow, right, along with the designs and architectures, will also implement the deployment artifacts, right? That is deployment documents. Assessment workflow, assessing the trends in the process. Trend means uh, the way, right? We have to assess, we have to examine the ways in the process. The product quality assessment is carried by analyzing quality attributes of the product and defect management of the product. We have to assess the quality of the product by simply by analyzing two things. One is analyzing quality attributes of the product, and we can uh, defect management of the product. We can analyze these two things automatically. We can assess the quality of the product. That is what the assessment workflow. Next one is deployment workflow. In this workflow, the process of delivering the end product to the user or the customer is carried, or preparing the software application or product to run and operate in specific environment is done. Right, deployment workflow means it is the process of delivering the end product, delivering the project to the customer, and we are preparing the software application document, where this document contains the details of deployment. That is that software is going to be deployed, that is installed in the particular specific user environment. That is what deployment workflow. So these are about the software process workflows, right? Thank you. We'll discuss the next topic in the next class. Thank you.